Yahweh.
Come on, all praise to the Most High, man. Man, pull out a proverb for me.
I'm in Cyrac. Let me get you something, man. Damn. Hold on, somebody. Let me check.
Shalom. Man, as you come into the channel, man, drop something in the chat so I can see you in here, Baba Kashah. Baba Kashah. Malachi finna bring out a proverb or two. I might bring out a proverb or two. Then we're going to jump into what does it mean? The race is not to the swift. What is that going into? Everybody enjoying a Sabbath. Lord willing. Shalom, Hebrew duck, shalom. Shalom. Man, what happened to the Cyrac? What happened to
It's like it, bro. My little brother caught me. I thought it was an emergency or something. This is the book of
Oh.
Cyrac. You hear me, though?
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Cyrac, chapter 33, and verse 1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
Touch on it.
Hey, man, it's saying what it's saying, man. Ain't no evil gonna happen to him that fear the Lord. Even when you're tempted, he gonna deliver you again.
God, I got a proverb. Say it again, King.
I said, even in the time of your temptation, man.
Brittany Ferguson, Shalom, you said, do y'all have like real classes? I thought this one was a real class. This is a real class.
Why'd you do that?
About. Huh?
I say, why'd you do that? I'm playing though.
She probably mean like actual building and do classes in person. We usually do those kind of lessons whenever we all congregate together, like for a feast day. But now we usually do a lot of online classes, or we break bread with each other in certain some of our chats and stuff. But when we congregate, that's for the most part when we do classes in person with the IQM and the body.
Also, you can catch us on them highways and them byways.
For sure. All right, we're gonna go to camp right after this. So we warming our spirits up, getting ready for camp. This is not a deep lesson, more so just a light little meal before camp. It's nothing deep. It's not going into like prophecies and nothing like that. So, on the Sabbath, I usually have laid back classes for the most part. I like, giving people just some food that they can, eat and just relax to kind of. So that's usually the vibes that's going out. The spirit that be on us usually on the Sabbath, especially me and Ahran. Y'all know we be really chilling, taking it easy. But bro, I gotta get mine. So this is Sirach chapter 6 and verse 2. It says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. So you don't want to extol yourself in your own heart. Extol means to lift up. You don't want to lift yourself up in your own mind, because heart means mind in the Bible. Sometimes people will start telling themselves that they're more than what they actually are, that they're more important than what they actually are, that they better than someone else, and they actually not. So you can lift yourself up in your own mind, and you would think that you start believing that you really are something, that you really are somebody, that your life is really, really, really precious and is better than everybody else's or something. And that's not going to really get you nowhere with the Most High God and being in this truth.
Mm.
So you don't want to lift yourself up. You want to be humble. When you lift yourself up, you stop being humble. So you want to always try and examine yourself and make sure you're not putting yourself up somewhere where you shouldn't be. Right. And that takes a lot of discernment, takes a lot of understanding. You got to be real with yourself. That's why we're in the truth. That's why we in the truth. You can't be in the truth and start lying to yourself. That don't make sense. To be in the truth, that means you got to always be real with yourself. You got to always be truthful. You got to always be real. That's on you, King.
I got a precept. This is a Sirach chapter 6 and verse 19. It says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. The her being wisdom, you understand? Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, for thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. Now, if you know anything about you know, uh husbandry, or just, planting and sowing seeds of things of that nature, you're gonna need patience. First off, you gotta come humble, because it's a humbling experience. Things don't just go exactly how you think it's gonna go. You put the seed in the ground. Right now, you probably think you got it figured out. Go plant a seed in the ground right now. It's not gonna go how you think. But um it says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. Like I said, you gotta be humble, and you gotta be willing to learn and grow. It's like it's a experience. If you know about growing plants, if you try to do too much to it, or try to force it to do what you want it to do, you can mess it up. You can do more harm than good by doing too much, or thinking this or thinking that, instead of just doing what's needful and being patient. Just do what's needful and be patient, and you're gonna enjoy the fruits soon. To not be long winded, but it's on you, King.
Khan. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. First and foremost, we're going to give all honor, all glory, all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem and Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, for the spirit and the power to do this lesson. Lord willing, somebody gets edified today. And if you don't learn nothing else, I want you to have the understanding of what it means when the Bible says the race is not to the swift, right? And from there, we'll go into more stuff that I was thinking about touching on possibly. But we're gonna kind of just go off the spirit like usual. So, all right, let me get Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. Baba Kashah. Ecclesiastes 9 and 11.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. But time and chance happeneth to them all.
Khan. So the race is not to the swift. It's a lot of wisdom in that sentence right there. And I hope that I'm able to give y'all a clear understanding on what that's going into. For everybody that's in the chat, drop a con if you know the story of what is it called? The tortoise and the hare. Do you know about that story?
Uh,
Con. I hope everybody else had the pleasure to hear about that story. It's been so long. I know it's different versions of it, and how it's told, but the key points is still usually always the same. Serendipitous. Khan, all praises. Who else heard about it? Who else heard about the story? The tortoise and the hare. What? Not familiar? Okay, I got you. Maybe I can pull it up. Tortoise and okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. It's a real simple story. I could probably paraphrase it, kind of what's going on. I just tried to type it in, but I don't know. All right, so the tortoise and the hare. In short, the story is about a tortoise, which is a turtle, and a hare, which is a rabbit. So you got a turtle and a rabbit, and the turtle and the rabbit, both of them marks their spots on and they're going to go for a race. A race. Now, obviously, everyone's gonna say, "Why is a rabbit and a turtle racing? It's unfair." Because the rabbit is genuinely just quicker. He's more swift. He's quicker. He's faster. And where they're racing on dry land, by the way. They're not racing in the water, they're racing on dry land. So they start racing, and the tortoise or the turtle, he just at a slow, steady pace. He's a turtle. What I mean, he can't do nothing else but keep doing what he's doing, putting one foot right in front of the other. The rabbit or the hare takes off. He can already he can get to the finish line way before the turtle can, but he goofs off. He stops here, he eats, he stops here, he makes potty breaks, he stops here. He's doing all, he's actually boasting. He's boasting, he's taunting the turtle. He rests, he takes a nap. He does all of this just because he can. He's faster, he can afford it. And the turtle, he doesn't take any stops. He doesn't take any breaks. So like, yeah, somebody at my door. Hey, can you touch on the story?
That hare, he had a real sense of pride on him. Or the rabbit, let me say the rabbit, that everybody might understand. But the turtle, he was dedicated. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the best, but he stayed focused. He stayed diligent, and he ended up winning the race. If I'm not mistaken, the rabbit, he was prideful. He was boastful the whole time. He was moving with arrogance. He thought he had it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up getting smoked.
You
Got him knocked off. He wanted to take a nap. Hey, Shalom, Captain DeBoer.
Shalom.
Khan. So the race not to the swift though, because when you read the story, at the end of the day, it's a lot of things that you can take away from it. But what's the crazy part, the whole climax of it is that the hare, the turtle, not the hare, the damn rabbit, he keep on playing games, and the turtle end up crossing the finish line before him, and now he's salty, and now he hurt. You know about the yeah. That's like the Captain the Bar cheese, and it's a good one. I mean, it's solid. It's a lot of morals in there, but you can really take it. You can really take it to the next level by applying the scriptures, because the scriptures say the race is not to the swift. Now the word swift, let's pull it up for y'all. It's a real simple word, and everybody probably got a gist of it, of what the word mean. Okay, real quick, I wanted to read this. So this is the tortoise and the hare moral. It says the tortoise continues to move very slowly, but without stopping, and finally it wins the race. The moral lesson of the story is that you can be more successful by doing things slowly and steadily than by acting quickly and carelessly. and that's a big fact. I was gonna type in swift. So the definition of swift, it says happening quickly or prompt. It says, look at some of the synonyms: rapid, sudden, immediately, instant, instantaneous, ready, abrupt, hasty, harried. Look, some of these is in the Bible. Hasty, you know. It says speedy, fast, high speed, express, whirlwind. Interesting. So, anyways, you kind of get the gist of what swifts mean. But the race is not to the swift. So just because you're the rabbit, or just because someone has talents that the Most High gave them, and you might not have the same talents, that don't mean that they're gonna win the race. That don't mean that the Most High God is really gonna pick them. That don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Hey, have you ever heard that proverb in a world? It says, you'll hear like coaches say it. What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Give me a second. It's shoot, what they say? They say, hard work.
Pardon?
Look, you on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking hard too. I kind of knew where you was going when you said coaches, but yeah, I know a couple people say that.
So hard
Hard work.
work beats talent when talent don't work hard. You heard that too, Cap? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that just give me more confidence in the scripture, because it says, look, I returned and I saw under the sun. This is what Solomon saw. This is what Solomon seen. It says the race is not to the swift. So when it comes to racing, just because you're faster than another person, that don't always mean you're gonna win. Right? Just because you're faster than another person, that does not necessarily mean that you're gonna win. And it made me think of, y'all know who Sha'Carri Richardson is?
Yeah, the runner.
Yeah, the runner. She an Israelite, right? I'm gonna pull it up because why not? I was looking at it earlier. Sha'Carri Richardson, right? She a Jake. You kind of see her information right here. American runner. She actually went to the Olympics for women's track and field. Look, look how young she is. This says this winning time made her one of the 10 fastest women in history at 19 years old. She young. She only 20 right now, I believe. But she ended up going to the Olympics. She was breaking records. She was going to the Olympics in Tokyo, I believe. No, it's not that she got dusted. She got caught with a case for smoking.
Oh, yeah.
The drug test. So even though she was the fastest girl out there, the race not to the swift. Anything could happen. Time and chance happen if to anyone. It says Richardson qualified for the 2020 Summer Olympics with a 100-meter time of 10.86 seconds. At the 2020 United States Olympic trials, it was 0.13 seconds faster than I don't know how to say her name. I'm just say Oliver, who finished second. It says a urine sample that she submitted tested positive for THC. However, in indicating recent cannabis use and putting her participation in the Olympics in doubt. After successfully completing a counseling program, she accepted a one-month suspension by the U.S. Anti-doping agency. Anyways, my point is, she's super fast. She's a really good runner, and she's really young. But the race is not to the swift, because time and chance happens to everyone. Anything can happen. You can be the best one at basketball, but not be able to get on the court. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But it's best for us to move at a pace that we can keep for a long time. Because when you come into the truth, one of the things I did, I soaked up a whole bunch of information. And all of it was not good. It's going to be like that. You're going to soak up good information, bad information, especially when you first come into the truth, because you're a babe. Hey, Malachi, can you get 1 Peter 2:5? 2 and 2. I had to check my files. The bar was looking at me like, that ain't the one. First Peter 2:2, King.
This is the book of First Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. It say, yeah, it say, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
So when you come into the truth, you consider that newborn babe. And you have to desire the sincere milk of the words. You got to come and get the basics of the words of the Most High God. You got to come with the right mindset, the right intent. You know, to come humbly, to come crouching like a newborn babe, or the Most High gonna jack your spirit up. We see it time and time again in the truth. People start off quick, they get off to a good start, then they start falling behind. And the guy who was being patient, the guy who was being the turtle, being the tortoise, he slowly ends up winning the race, outrunning the guy who started off quick. He ends up winning. He was going at a slow, consistent pace that he could keep, that he might be able to keep for the rest of his time on earth. Vice versa, a brother who he jumps into the truth, he watches a million videos, and he soaked up all of this information, but then he fall off. But then the Most High turn his spirit off. Or he start doing the work and then he stopped doing the work. So you want to go at a pace that you can go for a long time. And this isn't just a lesson for men, it's a lesson for women too. Women come into the truth, their minds start being renewed. They stop thinking so worldly. They're not so caught up in worldly things and shopping sprees and designer bags and just having a whole bunch of men. And you know, the Most I start really fixing their mind through these scriptures. She starts being submissive. She starts listening and start trying to actually learn how to be a woman according to the Bible. According to the Bible. What just came out of my mouth? According to the Bible. Right. But man, the world, this is why it's important for women to have husbands. Because every single second of your existence, especially in Babylon, this whole world is corrupted, but especially Babylon. The women here have it really, really, really bad because every time they go outside of the house, every time they turn on their TV, every time they scroll on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, the world is trying to teach women how not to be women. That's what America is trying to indoctrinate our women with. America does not want our households in order. They don't want a woman to actually be submissive to her husband. They want the women to be the head of the household. They want the women to be out of order and disrespecting their husband, kicking their husband out, whatever the case may be. The world literally teaches women that they do not need men. I kind of went on a rant because I was trying to go back to the race not being to the swift, but I kind of went on a rant. I'm fed up, bro. Look, you hear me? I'm finna dig deep in that one. Hey, but look, going back to the race not being swift, it's more meat on the scripture. So I read that scripture again, Baba Kashai. Ecclesiastes.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
All right, now grab Ecclesiastes 9 and 11.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
So it says the race isn't to the swift. It says nor the battle to the strong. So just because someone is stronger than you, that don't mean that they're going to win the fight. Because we see time and time again, the Most High love underdogs. The Most High love an underdog. Hey, bro, get 1 Corinthians 1 and 27. We know the account that happened in Samuel when King David, not even King David, I always say King David. This is young David. This is young David. He went up against a giant, Goliath, a Philistine, an African. That's what he went up against. Knocked his boots off. Because hey, look, it don't matter if you're stronger. It's time and chance happening to them all. The works of God is at hand. So it don't matter what the odds are. It don't matter what the odds are. Brittany Ferguson said, yeah, it's hard to stay on track when you don't know much about the truth, but I'm staying focused. I really want to learn. Men in the truth is rare. Definitely. It tell you that the men of the Most High, they're gonna be worth more than gold. They're gonna be worth more than gold. What is that? Isaiah?
Yeah, 13.
It's 13. And what?
15. 15. And so like 25.
13, 15. 13, let me see. Yeah, 13, 12. Hey, this is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. It says the men of the Most High gold, the men, especially the men of the Most High God, they're going to be super, super rare and valuable, especially in these last days. Especially in these last days. Yeah, grab that in Corinthians.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 17. For Christ,
27.
27. So like,
Okay.
this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 27. But God have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
This is why I say the Most High God loves underdogs. You see it all throughout the scriptures. The Most High loves underdogs. He chooses the weak men, the ignorant men, the men that are in ghettos, in the hoods, who grew up in poverty, to confound the kings of the earth, to confound the wise. We see that all throughout the scriptures. The Most High will choose somebody you do not think he's going to choose. Give me Malachi 2 and 6, King. Matthew 2 and 6. Matthew 2 and 6. I'm going to show you how he chose Christ, and Christ came from a small ghetto, a small place. People don't think much of this place. Go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. Let me start over, Salakia. Verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
So he said, Bethlehem, art not thou the least in the place of Judah? Like, this is one of the smallest rundown towns or cities in Judah. But the Most High said, look, the King of Kings is going to come out of this small place, out of Bethlehem. Like, what did they say? They said, can any good thing come from Bethlehem? That's what they were saying. Can anything come from Bethlehem? It's not nothing there. It's nothing there. There's no one there. It's just a place. It's not major. It's not a poppin' city. It's not a capital place. It's not Jerusalem. It's just Bethlehem. But the Lord chose to bring someone from that place. That's why I keep saying the Lord loves an underdog, and you might be that underdog. So don't be so Brittany Ferguson, this is really for you. If you're just now coming into the truth, don't get overwhelmed by other sisters or other brothers or not knowing as much. The race is not to the swift. This is one of the biggest things that you're going to get tested in. Is going to be the test of time. The test of time. What do I mean when I say that? Being able to endure through time. right? This is a classic scripture right here. This is Matthew. Huh? Yeah. Matthew 24 and verse 13, bro. Bro, you don't know me like that, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, right, he do. The boy calling every precept that I'm thinking of. This is Matthew 24 and 13. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Whenever you endure something, you have to endure it for some time. And that's what this truth is about. It's about endurance. If you want salvation, if you want to be saved, it's about enduring through time. A lot of the stuff that we want, it takes time. Whether it's fighting off certain demons, them things take time. Whether it's growing in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, them things definitely take time. Renewing your mind and changing the way that you think, it takes time. Because it took all of the brothers time to adjust to what the Most High thinks, what he deems as good and bad. Because for a long time, I didn't think selling drugs to people was bad. I thought it was just normal. I thought that's just life, you know. That's just the way this go. So I didn't think it was bad. But after coming into the knowledge of the truth and occupying in the scriptures, studying the law, just reading the Bible, you start understanding like that's definitely not okay. That's not good. The Most High definitely gonna kill me if I keep doing that. He deems that as bad. So you literally have to recalibrate your mind and what you think is right and what you think is wrong to what the Most High God thinks. And that takes time. Getting on one track with the Most High God takes time. Hey, let me get Sirach 6 and 18, King.
Chapter 6 and verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
He said, my son, gather wisdom from thy youth. So when you old, you will have all of that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you gathered, you'll have it. You'll be able to use it whenever you want it. On a carnal level, think about it like this. You want to save up money, you know, especially while you're young. You know, you might have a good job now. 10 years down the line, you're not going to have that job more than likely. You want to save that money up and not just spend it all up, because one day you're going to get old and you might need to use it. You might want to retire. You want to save that money up so you don't have to work when you get old. On a spiritual level, that's how it is with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You want to gather wisdom, bind up instruction, learn as much as you can now. So whenever you grow up, whenever you older, you can use it whenever you want. It's spiritual money. It's spiritual. Read the next verse, King.
Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruit. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
So just how a man will go and sow seeds or plant seeds, it takes time for them seeds to actually sprout up and bear fruit. That's how it is with wisdom. But he said, go do that work right now. He said, I promise you it's going to be more than worth it. And when you start getting the fruits of your labor when it comes to wisdom, you're going to be like, I didn't even work that hard to get what I got. I was just thinking this the other day. I was like, man, I can go way harder. I can do more. I can do more work. I can study more. Brothers all the bar like, yeah, bro, that's it. And they like, I promise you, bro. Everybody, for the most part, all of the brothers I'm around, they feel the same way. Like, yeah, man, we could do more. Like, I should be studying more. You know, I should be reading more. I should be teaching more. Whatever. I should just be. I'm gonna say this real quick. No matter what, make sure you're growing. Make sure that you're growing. That's really important in the truth. Whether you growing an experience by going through stuff, whether you growing by getting understanding from elders, whether you growing by learning, just being around brothers and learning how to actually love brothers according to the Most High, whether you growing by just cracking this Bible open every day and just reading and soaking up this word, make sure that you're growing. Make sure that you're growing. That's the key. You might only grow this much in a day or this much in a week, but make sure that you consistently growing, because them things stack up. They stack up. Make sure you do. When I first came to truth, I was like, if I just learn one thing every day for a year, at the end of the year, I just grew 365 times in a year, whatever. That's where my mind was at. I'm like, bro, I just got to grow. So that was one of the things I always wanted to do. So any conversation about the Bible, I was trying to listen to. I was always trying to congregate with brothers. I was always watching videos. I used to take my Bible anywhere. I could go to the bathroom. I'd be in my crib. I don't know if brothers do that, but I used to be on that time. Nowadays, I just take my phone, but I used to take both of my swords, my Bible, my Apocrypha, my highlighters, my pens. While I'm doing what I got to do, I'm in the bathroom. That's what I was on, especially when I first came into the truth. But now, I'm more relaxed and, I'd be chilling. I'm not so much in a rush to obtain all of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's out there. Because whenever you rush so much, you kind of start doing things for the wrong reasons. It's not coming with a sincere spirit. Sometimes you learn things that you don't really need to be learning right now. It's a lot of things I could say about obtaining wisdom. Everything. I like what Brittany said. It does take patience. Big facts. Say it again, King.
I said, can I add on to what you said?
Yes, sir.
Since we on verse 19 and it's talking about you're not gonna labor. What do it say? Thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. And the thing about a plant is it's fragile, man. If you do too much and you get too hasty, you trying to make it grow too fast, you can hurt it, man. You can kill your plant by overfeeding it. Now I'm not saying don't study none of that. And I know when you first come in the truth, you super zealous.
Hey, you
But
gotta
just be mindful.
first come into the truth, bro. You have a whole different kind of diet, bro. You can eat 20 times a day and be like, you can eat all day and still be, still not feel like you overdoing it. But once you get in the truth a little longer, you have a different pace. Like I can read, like now that I'm in the truth for a long time, for a decent amount of time, it ain't long at all, really. That's not long at all. But look, because there's elders that's been in the truth for 30 plus years. Like now that I've been into the truth for since the end of 2018, I usually just say 2019, so it's easier to count. A chapter now is different from a chapter then, because it's so much more to the chapter than you really understand. It's not about quantity. It's not about the number of chapters you read. It's about the quality. So somebody new to the truth, they might read 7 chapters and then they're like, okay, I'm good. And it was a lot of food right there. Vice versa, I can read half a chapter and get full because I see like how much food is really right there in half a chapter, because it's way more understanding right there than people really see. When you go on line upon line, you're like, okay, that's a lot of food. You portion your food way different. Like a chapter for me, I'm going into the blue letter. I'm looking at words. I'm really sitting there meditating on it. I'm right there with a brother. We both picking each other's thoughts. So us reading a chapter, if we doing it the right way, it might take an hour for us to read a chapter because we really breaking bread over that chapter. It's not about just reading 7 chapters and saying, we read the whole book. it's going to profit me in the long run to read one chapter and really get a good understanding of that. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Uh,
Kind of your diet change. It's like Malachi said, like with a plant, you can over water it. You can give it too much water. You can drown that thing. And I'm not saying that to discourage brothers. If y'all spirit can take reading 10 chapters at a time, feed your spirit. But for some brothers' spirit, reading a chapter might be enough, you know. You was adding on to that point though. Like I want to hear what else you had to say about that.
just the fact that he said, "For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon." Basically, you you don't want to overdo. You don't want to overdo it. Just make sure you do what's needful. You can kill a plant by doing too much or trying to reach a, like, say you got something in mind, right? Like, I don't know what brothers is striving for, but you know, some people think vain things like, oh, I want to know about this, I want to be up on that. But just go at a pace and do what's needful, and let the growth be organic. You know, don't be comparing yourself to other brothers trying to be like them. Don't be
Because the
doing all
bar,
right.
I'm telling you, they have that spirit for a certain reason. The Most High God gave them. Hey, give me 1 Corinthians 12. When you watch other brothers in different camps, don't be covetous, right? Don't start envying them. It's a thin line between um a good desire and a bad desire, an
Mhm.
honorable desire and a wicked desire. Um, when you go into the word lust, it just means desire. But a lot of times we have the understanding that when the Bible says lust, we got the understanding that it's a bad desire. This is not good. You should not be desiring this. And it's coming from a bad place. A lot of times people would desire other brothers' wisdom because they want their glory. Instead of
Mhm.
saying that I want to grow in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding like that, brother, so I can teach my people and build up my nation. You see, those are we desiring to grow in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but the spirit that you coming in is bad. It's
Uh-huh.
lustful. You want
You
his
want
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding because of what? For vain glory, because you want
uh,
to be known instead of, look, I want that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding like that, brother. I want to be able to teach like that, brother, so we can hurry up and, build our nation up. So I can teach more effectively, so I can win souls for the Most High God, because that's what it's about. Something
that's
that's small. You see, bro, that's take understanding to understand the difference between that. One is a sin, one is not. That was a lot of wisdom right there. That was a lot of understanding right there. I hope brothers and sisters can understand what I say. Did you have a preset?
like
Kind. Okay, I got one. Give me Sirach 3.
I think you called something in First Corinthians too.
You pulled it out.
Okay, Sirach 3 and
Real quick. I think I want to start at verse 21. But real quick, Brittany Ferguson, shout man, this is my first time seeing you in here. So all praises to the Most High God. Um, to answer your question, you said what's the best Bible to read, and can suggest some book to read for starters. So I'm assuming you don't have a husband, so I'll answer this question. Because you just came into the truth. That's why I'm assuming that. The best Bible to read. That's actually a good question, because anytime I'm asked this question, it's usually by a brother. And I'm going to tell brothers, for the most part, deal with the KJV, because it's the closest thing to the because it was translated from these different languages, from the manuscripts, from these languages. So it's going to be the closest thing in our language. So that's what I'm usually going to refer the KJV. But since you're a sister, if you by yourself, it might be easier to deal with the different translation if you by yourself, like the NLT, the GNT, maybe even the NIV. Me personally, I like the NLT. It's the New Living Translation. It's pretty it's a little bit easier to read than the KJV, because the KJV got a lot of thous, ye, yea,
Thy.
right, doubt, shout. It's a little bit more ancient, but that's the beauty in it once you get the hang of it. A good book to read, mind you, when you read them for the different translations, it's good to compare it to what the KJV say. All praises. A good book to, man, I encourage sisters to read about the foremothers. If you're serious, I give you some good chapters to read for women, because you really need women. They don't need to learn the Bible how men learn the Bible, because it's not women's job to teach the Bible how men teach the Bible. Women, they teach the other women how to be womanly. So I'm gonna give you a few things to kind of read, and it's not so much as books, it's more so chapters that you always want to refresh yourself on. I'm buying you time right now. You should be writing this down, because it's good. It's gonna help you in the long run. It might be repetitive, but we do a lot of repetitive stuff in the truth so that we don't go back into the world. Like every single week, I come on here and I try and do a live, unless it's a feast day. Every single week, SOJ goes out and teach, so we don't go back into the world, so we can feed our people. We do a lot of things, man, so we don't follow the truth. Every single day we trying to get in that word. So anyways, you're going to do things that's repetitive. I said repetitive. But the chapters that you going to want as a woman, it's some trademark chapters. You're going to want Sirach chapter 26. I'm going to repeat it twice for you. Sirach chapter 26. Right. He right on point. Sirach 26. Proverbs 31. Titus 2. Those is actually the ones I was going to name off. But we got a few more. You want to read the first Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3. It's not the whole chapter. When you go to 1 Peter, it's probably like down to verse 8 maybe. But 1 Peter chapter 3 is really good. Really, those would be good. Just some those are the kind of things you want to feed your spirit with. And make sure you're doing that, because that's what the Most High God gonna judge you off of if you being a good woman, honorable woman. Read the books that deal with women, like Judith. See how she operated. She was righteous. Esther. See how she operated. She was righteous. Yo. Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, bro. Give me that preset.
You want it's the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and 21. It say, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
So you don't want to seek out things that are too hard for you in the truth. If you start searching for things that's too hard for you, you're going to get folded up. Simple as that. You start fighting battles that's not yours to be fought. It's not meant to be fought. You're going to start getting beat up. It's more on that. You read verse 21, right?
Right.
Let me go see how far I want you to go down. So seek not out the things that are too hard for you, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Come on, this is the point, kind of.
But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret.
It says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. So it says, don't worry about these extras, these side quests. Meditate on the things that's commanded of you. How to how to serve the Most High God correctly by keeping his commandments. Worry about those things instead of getting deep and worrying about these prophecies, these parables. Just worry about the basics. Hey, give me Sirach 19:24, Baba Kasha. Worry about the basics. Make sure you doing the little things right. Make sure you're doing the simple things right, like honoring your father and your mother, keeping the Sabbath day holy, not putting any other gods before the Most High God's face, not taking the name of the Lord in vain, not bowing down to any graven images, not murdering your brother, not murder him in your heart, not physically either, off tops,
No
not
stealing.
stealing, right? No adultery. You don't want to be covetous. You want to always go back to the simple things, because those things in the long, because the race is not to the swift. Because the race is not to the swift. You might know all of these deep prophecies. You might have got these different breakdowns, but you never really even understood how to love your brother. You didn't take time. And that's what's wrong with a lot of brothers too. A lot of brothers' minds is it don't make sense to me. I don't see it. Don't really make sense with the Bible. I don't see why they move like this. But a lot of brothers will say they in the truth, but they really not in the truth. One of the main things in the truth that's required is loving your brother. That's like the main thing. Loving God and loving your brother. How can you love your brother if you're never around your brothers? How can you learn how to actually have brotherly love and you don't actually be around your brothers? Isolate yourself. You always on Facebook, but you never with your brothers. You're not doing the work with your brothers. We gotta start with the basics. The basics of basics. Congregate. Be with brothers. Help brothers. Pray with brothers. Fast with brothers. Teach with brothers. Eat with brothers. That's the first works of the Most High. Love your brothers. That's one of the greatest commandments. But how can you really learn that if you're not around brothers? Why do you think the Most High God is commanding us to love God and love our people? Hey, give me Ecclesiastes 4:9, Baba Kasha. You missing out on so much of the truth if you're not around brothers, if you're not around sisters. You missing out on so much of the truth. One could argue that you're not in the truth. Bring that out when you got it.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 9. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor.
Hey, it says two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. Man, you're not that strong alone. You're not that strong alone. Quit trying to do it by yourself. It's not about that. It's a reason why the Most High God told us to congregate. Hey, give me Psalms 133? 131? It's been a minute since I pulled this out. Let me go check. And the reason why you want to have brothers, you want to have help. That's what brothers is. Whenever you see your brother, you see help. Because he's supposed to be your brother's keeper. I want 133.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Bring that out. Bring that out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 133 and verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
See, it's a good thing for brothers to dwell together in unity. Because now you got help. Now you got somebody to lean on. Something that you couldn't do, now you can do it. Because you got extra hands. Your brothers in the spirit. Gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation not desired. That's what we got to do. We literally got to learn how to gather together. Now, it ain't going to be perfect. Everybody ain't going to gather together. Every camp is not going to gather together. But we got to do what we can. We know that Yahushua gonna come and really set things in order, but we should be getting. This is a part of our glory. This is a part of our. This is the. If you want to be if you want to be a king, if you want to actually have power, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work doing it alone. If that was how it was going to get done, how it's not going to work. That's what we did in the world. In the world, we tried to do it alone. We was one deep, solo dolo, and it didn't really get us nowhere. Me and Malachi, we be plotting. We be plotting. Just the other day, he was like, "Hey, bro, the key, bro, is really just coming together." And it was when he said it, he knew. I felt it through the spirit. I knew what he meant. And he wasn't just talking. He was for real. He was so serious when he said that. He said, "Bro, if we do it together, it's going to work." This my soldier. This is what he said to me. He said, "Bro, if we do it together, it's going to work." I'm like, "You're not lying. You're not lying." This is one of the foundational scriptures that you need. This is a worldly proverb. If y'all ain't never heard this, put this in y'all bag. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Because when you're alone, you can go at the speed you want to go. You ain't gotta worry about no extra weight. You can do it how you want to do it. You can jump over fences. You can go as fast as you want. But if you want to go far, you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some help. Yeah, most definitely. Yes, that is definitely one of the most hardest things to do. This is Soldier Yadadaya. He said the hardest thing for us to do is come together for Yahweh. Most definitely. It's definitely one of the hardest things to do. We're coming together for madness. We see it all the time when we teach. We see people come together on Thanksgiving. It makes no sense. It don't make sense at all. You can come together for them massacring your people. And y'all celebrate this day now. It's a whole demon out here. It's a whole spirit out here. Esau has came and just raped our minds. Right? Strength in numbers. Most definitely. That's why we got a book called Numbers. And you're going to find out whenever you first open up the book of Numbers and you start from chapter 1, you're going to see why it's called Numbers. It's because we was numbering the men that we had in Israel that was fit for the battle. We was numbering the men of war. That's what we was doing. That's what the beginning of that book crack off about. We numbering the children of Israel, the men from each tribe, the ones that were fit for the battle, the ones that could go make war, who was of age. And that's what we're doing right now. The most I got is numbering the children of Israel, the men, the women, mainly the men who are fit for the battle. Why is it mainly the men? Because women are supposed to be attached to their husbands. The children are attached to them righteous men, to them households. But it really is about the men that are fit for the battle. And this battle that we fighting, it's not carnal, man. It's not a carnal battle. It's not a carnal battle at all, man. If you think that you're fighting, you got to be able to see it immediately. This is one of the things that I tell everybody that's around me. They hear me say this all the time, especially my household. I say this all the time. Anytime you're being attacked by a demon, and sometimes they don't even know that's a demon. Anytime you start feeling off, or you start feeling weird, you're just not feeling right, your spirit off, it's imperative. It is absolutely imperative. This is the utmost important thing by far to do, is to identify why you're feeling like that. When you start having that kind of mentality, okay, I'm off. But why am I off? When did this start? Okay, I started feeling off this morning. What happened? When you start asking, when you start investigating why you're feeling like that, what you're doing through the spirit, you're identifying what demon is attacking you. because it's a spiritual battle. I'm telling you, if you can't identify what spirit is attacking you, you're going to have a tough time fighting demons off. Imagine tying your eyes up and being blindfolded and trying to fight Malachi. Malachi, a pretty big guy. How much you weigh, Act 305?
You know what time it is.
What you like, 6'2"?
And I know how to attack. All I know is attack.
And you know Jeet Kwando. What you know? He know
Bro, I know the
jiu-jitsu.
way.
He know the what? He said he know the way. All right, he know the way to victory, huh? He said I'm gonna attack. All right. So imagine trying to battle somebody, you in a life or death fight, but you're blindfolded. You're not gonna win. You don't know where he at. You don't know what fighting stance he in. You don't know if he got a weapon in his hand. You can't see. He can do whatever. And you're just gonna get beat up because you can't see. On a spiritual level, if you cannot identify what demon is attacking you, you're gonna lose the battle just about every single time unless you just get lucky. And you can't just get lucky in the truth every single time. You got to actually have a method. And the method is identifying what demon is attacking you. Can you get Ephesians 6 and 12? Man, we got to wrap it up, man, because it's already 12:34. You hear?
You said Ephesians 6 and 12.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lord. Hold on a second. I think I passed it.
Now I'm warm for camp now, man. I'm ready for camp because it's cold out there right now, man. But I'm warm now. I'm warmed up. Bro, you playing, man.
Bro, I think I keep skipping past it, bro. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Man, I got you.
I'm there. Like, boom, it's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
It says, it's telling you period point blank. It's things out here that you can't see that you're fighting against. But you got to be able to see them, not through your carnal eyes, but through your spiritual eyes. You got to be able to understand. You got to be able to sit down and effectively figure out what's on you, what's bothering you. You got to really get to the root of these demons, man. If not, you're gonna be getting ate up. You're gonna be slipping. You're gonna be getting beat up, and you're not gonna have a clue. You're not gonna have a clue. That's why it's important to be around brothers. Brothers help you through those times. Brothers would be like, "What's up? You all right? What's up? Nah, for real. Tell me what's going on, bro. You know, I got you." Boom. Next thing you know, you actually tell him what's going on, and he'd be like, "Bro, I'm fighting that too." You know what? Now we can. Now we breaking precepts down. Now now you already feeling better because you're not in a boat by yourself. Or the brother could be like, "Man, I went through that too. Maybe like a year ago. This is what I did, man." Boom, boom, boom. He might throw you a scripture. He might give you sound doctrine, understanding, good advice. Look, man, you got to stay away from this because every time you do this, it's going to trigger this. And you want to stay. You don't want to play with that fire. It's hot. He gonna give you to understand, especially if you run a big bro. He gonna break you down. He gonna break you off, and he gonna throw scriptures on top of it. That's why it's good to be around brothers, because they're your brothers. When you're around brothers, you got protection. And if you think protection is just these, you're sadly mistaken. You need brothers who got this. Somebody who got this can beat somebody up that's strong, who's stronger than them. You got to be well balanced, man. The race is not to the swift. Get built up through the spirit, man. Don't Don't rush the process. Let the Most High God really renew your mind. Let him teach you again, man. You got to actually be taught. You got to be a babe. You got to come like that. You got to come like that. And then you going to get the taste of them fruits. Then you're going to really see like, okay, wisdom is really the move. There's no better thing. Hey, I grabbed that precept and we're going to wrap it up. The one you put out before class, Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 7.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 7. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life.
Touch on that, King.
Hey, man, wisdom gonna teach you the best things that you ever gonna receive in your life, man. That's what I get from it.
Calm. Virtues. It's going to give you your morals. It's going to give you sound discretion and discernment. You're going to know right from wrong. You're going to know what's pleasing in the sight of the Most High. You're going to know what's pleasing in the sight of men too. You're going to know what's honorable, what's not. You're going to learn how to be patient. That's a virtue. You're going to learn how to endure and be long-suffering. Those are virtues. You're going to learn how to love at the right time. You got to have that kind of discernment. That's a virtue. You got to know when it's a time to love and when it's not. That's a virtue. You got to, and you're going to learn balance. That's a virtue. Oh, you're going to get all of this just by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and trying to have a perfect mind with the Most High God. You know, and you're just going to learn balance. It's a time to love, a time to hate, a time to sing, a time to dance, a time to mourn. You get all of this just by sitting down and trying to search out the wisdom of the Most High for a split second. You gain too much. I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't lost anything. Anything that I lost, it wasn't worth anything. All I did was gain stuff in the truth, man. When I count my losses to the things that I gained, it pales in comparison. Like it's only up. Go ahead, Doc.
Your life only get better, man.
It's only up. Now, if you carnal as hell, you might see more losses, but I promise you, when you're on this side, them things that you lose, it's nothing, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing. Go ahead, though, Kane.
I want to link this precept with Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 7. Remember, it say if a man love righteousness, what do it say? Let me see. If a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. She gonna teach you temperance, prudence, justice, fortitude, and there's nothing better in life than those things. You got fortitude, gonna teach you how to endure when things is hard. That's what fortitude going into. Everything not gonna be easy. The big bro told me the other day, it's nothing easy about being a man. That's crazy. That's a whole different conversation.
Though, didn't it?
That hit.
Though, didn't it? It ain't nothing easy about you know what? The only thing that makes it easier is having wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Now, boy, I'm glad you said that. Now I'm finna bring this up. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. And Sirach just told you what it was, man.
Yeah, that's the doctrine of life right there, man. Keep the commandments. When in doubt, just keep the commandments. Your life going, you taking a crazy turn, life hitting you like this. It's just hitting you. When you in doubt like that, life just smack you in the head. Maybe a family member died. You get kicked out of your crib. When in doubt, just keep the commandments. I'm telling you, it's the doctrine of life. It's going to make sure if you keeping the commandments, give me Proverbs 6 and 23. Man, I'm supposed to be getting out of here. We got to get to the camp. Proverbs 6 and 23.
Praise to the Most High.
Praises to the Most High God.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
See, look, the commandments is a lamp, and the law is a light. And you're supposed to walk in that path. You're supposed to be the light. You're supposed to walk in the light. Whenever you in darkness, you don't know where you walking no more. It's dark. You bumping into stuff. You hitting your shin. You might hit your head on the wall. You might run into stuff. But whenever you own that, whenever you keeping the commandments, you got light. So you can, even if it's raining, you can still see a little bit. Just keep the commandments. You know you're on the right path if you keeping the commandment. You can't go too far. You can't get too lost in the sauce. You can never stray too far off if you keeping the commandments. So when in doubt, when life hitting you like a train, I'm telling you, the keys, these are the keys. Just keep the commandments. When you unsure of something in the truth, you don't know what this scripture mean. Do it mean this? Or you might think that the whole doctrine changed, or you read a precept in Galatians and you like, I don't know. It sounds like we ain't got to keep the law. I'm telling you, don't let that thought get you. Just when in doubt, keep the commandments. Anything pop up, keep the commandments. I'm telling you, it's the insurance for your life. It's the insurance for your life. I'm finna wrap it up. You got any last thoughts? You got a precept? Keep the commandments. Con. So, hey, the water for everybody that tuned in. Lord willing, brothers and sisters was edified. I know we helped a few people out today, so all praises to the Most High God for allowing us to do that. Hopefully I see y'all brothers and sisters Wednesday and next Shabbat. Man, we turning up through the spirit, so get on fire with us. We finna go do this camp. We know y'all there in spirit. The last precept being Sirach 43 and 30, it says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength. And don't be weary, meaning don't get tired, because you can never go too far for the Most High God. And with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, Shalom, Ashar Shabbat.
Shalom.